Slash and Cast.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Have you checked the children?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Boogeyman is real, and you found him.
Don't you blame the movies! Movies don't create psychos! Movies make psychos more creative!
Brought to you by the Slash in the Cast podcast network and my YouTube channel, Slasher Media, where we talk horror and nothing but horror. Hope everybody is well and hope is doing good. As always, I'm followed by my fellow co-host, Mori.
Hello.
And yeah, today we are main topic. We are going to be talking about clown horror, which is going to be interesting. So if you are not a fan of clowns, then I don't know what to tell you. This is the episode This is the episode for the day. So, but first, we're going to do...
Colorophobia, isn't it? Is that the term?
Is that the term?
I think it is.
What is the term for someone with a clown? Colophobia. Yeah.
I'm trying to say my clowns.
Definition: an irrational, often overwhelming fear of clowns. But right. So what we're going to do first, though, is a new minigame. And then the new minigame is us doing what-if scenarios. We're going to give each other... We'll take turns. We'll give each other what-if scenarios in horror. And we have to choose, like, basically, would we rather do this or would we rather do that? So, for example, I'll go first. Mori, would you rather...
You know, I am a big fan of Gallerivia, so I too would like to go.
Shut up. Would you rather go on a date with Chucky or would you rather spend an entire year with Jigsaw?
I would rather spend an entire year with Jigsaw.
Why?
I would say it's because Jigsaw's motivations for, killing people, or rather putting them in those situations, he kills them, right? Let's face it.
Let's face it, he's a murderer.
Yeah. But he has his very specific reasons for it, right? There are people who are throwing their lives away. A lot of them have basically wronged him in some way, too. I have not wronged him in any way. I don't fit his criteria. However, I also see the reasons why he does what he does, and I wouldn't say
yeah, but
I'm not against him.
Do you do anything that like goes against like cherishing your own life?
No,
or
I'm
else's?
pretty obsessed with myself, but that cat though. But yeah, so I would get along with him pretty well. I would assist him in some things. I probably wouldn't put on a pig mask and jump scare people in closets because most Americans own guns. So yeah, I would pick Jigsaw. Yeah. What would you pick in that scenario?
You're giving me the same one?
No, I'm just curious about your take.
Oh, Jigsaw.
See, exactly.
Hands down.
I'm not weird about it, All right, so my scenario for you. I'm just recording this out. My scenario for you would be: would you rather go on a full weekend camping trip at Crystal Lake, or go trick-or-treating in Haddonfield?
Would I rather go on a full camping trip in Crystal Lake, or what? So what was the second one?
Or go trick-or-treating in Haddonfield.
I'm guessing Michael and Jason are already there.
Correct.
Depends. What version of both of them are we talking?
I would say. Ooh, see, that's where I'm a little bit rougher on the Friday the 13th. I would go sort of say. I don't think you like the reboot of that very
I
much,
do.
did you? Of Friday the 13th.
do.
You do? Okay,
I
so
like
the
reboot.
the reboot of Friday the 13th. I'd say that, Jason, because I'm most familiar with that, Jason. And then for the version of Halloween, I will actually say Halloween Rise.
Halloween Rise.
Not Halloween Rise, you know what I mean. Second one, Halloween Kills.
Oh,
I was thinking Evil Dead Rise with its thing for a second because I was thinking of
I'd
my
have to
next
go
thing.
Halloween.
You go Halloween,
There
even
is a
though like
reason.
it's okay. What's the reason?
Because with Jason, I'm dead. Because for one, he's going after people who are on his turf. He doesn't like people being in, he doesn't like people being at the camp or anywhere near it. So it's in fact I am dead. But with Michael in the new trilogy, we know that he's only going after people because they're in his way, especially in kills. So if I stay away from him, I'm safe in a way.
Originally, so the reason I picked Kills was because of how after he gets out of the burning house and does all that, he just kind of goes in a very straight linear path, and everything in his way gets killed. He just goes door to door, taking people out.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in his way, he's gonna go for you. So yeah, I'd have to go with. What about you on that one?
I would also pick Haddonfield, but that is also because, let's face it, um, if you can get out into the open and just get somewhere where there's a lot of people that, you're reasonably safe.
So you're basically gonna go into a crowd full of people and be like, all I have to do, I don't have to outrun him. I just outrun you.
Yeah, because really, since even though, like I said, the Halloween game portrays like that kind of like speed, he's not really that fast. He does still follow like a very, sensical pathway, right? So if I get out on the street and just haul ass, then that prevents any weird corners or things where he could suddenly pop out of at me. And once you get to more people, there's other people to get in the way. Yeah, trip a couple people here, trip a couple people there.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. Um. Okay, would you rather spend an entire like how long are summers in America versus like everywhere else?
I mean, I think date wise they're the same in terms of like when it starts, when it ends. Usually what
How many
June,
weeks?
July, August,
I say weeks.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, my sister only gets 6 weeks off during summer holidays. Jesus. Okay, so would you rather spend an entire American summer in um helping Jigsaw, helping him? By this I mean you are helping him,
Okay.
so you are going to be an accomplice to his doings, and you are doing this for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
During an American summer. So you are helping him through that entire thing, and after that, you have nothing to do with him afterwards. But technically, you will have on the conscience that you have murdered people. Or would you spend an entire summer with Dracula?
Okay, so I would choose Dracula for this one. Not because I don't like the Jigsaw part. I like the Jigsaw part too. But with the Dracula one, either A, I die at the end of it, or A, I die at the end of it. B, I get to be a vampire maybe. Or C, I get to go separate ways with the knowledge of how he is, his story. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty interesting. Also, I wouldn't pull I wouldn't pull a Jonathan Harker and get curious and just like investigate the whole castle just because.
Alright. I would also.
Yeah. How about you?
I'd also go with Dracula. As much as I
Yeah.
like John
Not that
Kramer.
I wouldn't.
As much
Yeah.
as I like John Kramer, I kind of think I would be that type of guy to want to get famous from giving him up.
I see. See, I would just
I
be
don't know
like,
why.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the complexity of the schemes and stuff.
True.
But chance to be vampire though.
Go on, give me your next one. We'll just keep
All
going.
right,
until
you're
we
gonna
go
love
for a
this one.
certain time frame. Yeah, go
Okay.
on.
Would you rather solve the shit lamentation
You've said that completely wrong.
yeah, 1 second. My brain is
I can tell you how you said.
lamentation configuration.
Nope.
There we go.
Nope.
It's not lamentation. No, what is it then?
Lament.
Are you bringing in your British?
It's lament.
You're bringing your British.
It's lament. It is called the lament configuration.
Imagine. American versus British, everybody.
No, here's the thing. No. Everybody calls it that, and also.
Oh yeah, everyone. Everyone.
And also, pretty much, like even in the first movie, is filmed in Britain.
And
exactly.
You see, the hillbillies of my area. Do you know what they call creeks?
Hang on. How to
Cricks.
pronounce? Hang on. A minute. So to pronounce it. I'm gonna send you this video. I'm being that type of asshole.
Well, too bad. Would you rather solve the configuration?
No. You listen to that video.
Or, nope. or would you go to a vampire nightclub, not knowing it's a vampire nightclub, I guess, mind you, with a date?
Again?
So would you rather solve the configuration, or would you rather go to a vampire nightclub? You remember Blade, right? Blade, when the guy goes to the Russian
nightclub, I would be someone's dinner.
Yes, but would you know that? You know what I mean? Like, would you go to the nightclub that's actually vampires going to feed on you, or would you go to? Would you solve the configuration?
So would I solve the configuration or end up as vampires' food?
I would assume in this universe, technically, Blade could show up.
Right. I'd have to go with vampire if Blade did show up, but for the fact that I don't know he's showing up, I'm going with configuration.
On the configuration, okay. And why? And besides that, are there any other reasons?
Besides what?
Are there any other reasons with it? Because when you solve that, Pinhead and all are going to hunt you, drag you into their dimension.
Yeah, but here's the thing: there's a chance I become a Cenobite.
I mean, the chance to become the Cenobite is quite literally you just accept it. You want to become a Cenobite?
Yeah.
Here, I thought you were super prude. I'm so proud of you.
I would be no, I wouldn't do it for all that shit. I'd do it for the fact that I'd be immortal, and to be fair, I'd be a god.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
I would be an undead god.
I'm a big fan of Cenobites, you know. But yeah, I would choose that too. The reason why I picked that so difficultly was just because I also, obviously, I like vampires, and that's like one of my favorite movie scenes ever involving vampires.
Hmm. I like
So,
Blade.
but it's great.
What about the answer? What about answer your own? Which one would you go with?
I'd choose the configuration.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
I think. Right, next one. I would have to go. Let's go with. Would you rather spend a year cleaning up after John Kramer's like exploits? Basically, you'd clean up his office after like he's worked on stuff and other things. Or would you rather be the guy who is investigating like these murders and ends up just being the murderer's bitch?
So, and is the guy investigating John Kramer, or is he investigating what?
Like any killer, like anytime there's a killer and the investigator is basically turned into an idiot.
I'd be cleaning up John Kramer's messes. Imagine all the stuff you can learn just from that.
Yeah, but you're not like working for the police doing it. You're doing it for him, like just
Yeah,
doing
imagine
the
how much you
thing.
learned from that.
Right.
I see no downsides.
I'd probably do the same.
All right, so would
Give me
you
your
rather?
last one, and then we'll go to mid.
Okay. Would you rather go with your friends on a weekend trip to a cabin in the woods, where you discover an ancient, document down in the basement, or
So is this Evil Dead?
yes, or would you rather be at a ballpark, right? Or I guess we could even say just, or I'll fix that. Or be out on the town when meteorites suddenly strike the Earth, and the creatures come out that start ripping and tearing anything that makes noise.
So A Quiet Place.
Yes.
So is the question here like which universe I'd rather live in?
Yeah. Which one would you partake in?
So either I live in the universe of A Quiet Place.
Well, I'd argue it's more the idea that quiet place happens to you in this current reality with you.
So in this reality, it happens. So it happens. It just happens.
Correct. Yeah.
What was the other one?
And then the other one is going to a cabin with your friends. So running into the Evil Dead cabin. Yeah.
I'd rather go a Quiet Place.
Quiet place. Okay. Why is that?
Because with Evil Dead, I'm not going to be the one touching that book. I am not being the one to touch that fucking thing. I will look at it. And if my friends decide to touch it, then I'm dead, and it's not my fault, is it?
And I admit, I am the kind of person that, especially because of Latin, I would absolutely try and read it, even
Exactly.
though
If I went
it's
with
not
you,
Latin.
this is why I'm never going anywhere with you. Because of this, because you are that stupid.
Yeah, I'd be like, ooh, let's see if I can pronounce this. It sounds so nice.
Quiet Place. It is going to be tricky, but I think I could do it.
Yeah, it's pretty much a matter of figuring out the rules before you get it, you know?
Right,
And
main
then if you
topic.
follow the rules, you're largely fine. Hell yeah.
So, clown horror. So, we're talking about Clown in the Cornfield, we're talking about, It with Pennywise and, like, others. I don't know if I've actually watched a lot of clown horror.
Really?
Don't think I've watched a lot. I'm trying to think of ones I have watched. I've watched the original It miniseries. I've watched the newer ones of It, so It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, and I've watched It Welcome to Derry, the show. I've watched Clown in a Cornfield.
You've seen Poltergeist, right?
Yeah.
I'd argue Poltergeist fits that.
How does Poltergeist fit clowns?
The doll itself that's possessed.
Oh, yeah,
The
true,
vessel.
true.
I think a lot of people can
And
trace their
the Terrifier
colorophobia to
films.
that. And Terrifier.
And then there's
So
also that movie that's just called Clown, where it's about this dad who puts on a clown costume that he got because I think his kid wanted a clown for his birthday, and
oh yeah, I love that movie, by the way.
yeah,
It's just like
he
the fact that
he wanted a clown for his
What's that?
birthday, and he couldn't take off the costume, and it turns out that the costume is alive, and is basically turning him into a demon.
Yeah, that's why I think I love it so much, is because it's such a it's a character with noble intention kind of thing, but gets corrupted, basically, like possessed and defiled, if you will. And I love that. Like, that's just fantastic. I love that kind of story. Um it almost like I feel like there's so much more that can be done
Oh,
with
and
that. With that.
like the Rob Zombie, like Devil's Rejects series and that.
Right. I need to
with
watch this again so
Captain
bad.
Spaulding. I'd count that.
I would too, because Captain Spaulding is pretty fantastic. I need to watch those all again. I like them. They're among my favorites.
Have
Rob
you
Zombie's a good
watched?
director. He's just a bit over, like he has
Have you
a
watched
special
Clown in the
brand.
Cornfield?
I have seen a lot of clips. I just haven't got around to actually watching
I'm
it.
pretty sure that the movie is actually a lot different from its source material.
What's the source material? Is it a book?
I don't know. Clown in a Corn. Yeah, it's a book. The movie's based on a book, but the movie changes a lot. So let me find Clown in a Cornfield. In a Cornfield. Differences between book and movie.
Yeah, so I've seen the clips with like that crossbow and things like
Biggest
that. So
book
I've seen
changes.
that.
I found biggest book changes. So this movie apparently changes a lot. So Ronnie and Matt don't betray the teenagers in the movie. The two teens are victims instead of villains in the film.
Maybe I actually did.
One of the biggest changes from Clown in a Cornfield to book to film adaptation is the role of Ronnie and Matt in the overall story. In both versions of the plot, Ronnie and Matt are members of the clique that Quinn befriends in Kettle Springs. They are involved in the production of short films that portray Frendo as a horror character, and both of them are killed by the end of the story. However, Matt and Ronnie are victims of the Frendo slaughter in the film, but were actually involved in the scheme in the book. So in the book,
I may have actually seen this, like the actual movie.
So in the book, they were involved, but in the movie, they were victims.
Okay. Did this have the scene like where they're outside of the barn?
Yeah.
And basically they're talking, then one of them gets murked just basically, out of nowhere. I think I may have watched this, but it's
Dr. Maybrook helps save Chloe in the film. Quinn's father, Glenn Maybrook, is one of the most important supporting characters in both versions of Clown in a Cornfield, moving to the small town of Kettle Springs with Quinn. After the death of his wife to an overdose, Glenn plays a more vital role in the climax of the film. However, killing a friendo and racing to the climactic confrontation in the movie, Glenn drives his car into the barn where the friendos are, planning to kill Quinn and Cole, killing two of them. This is also provides Chloe, who has been strung up in a noose, with a platform to stand on. Glenn Maybrook is more active in Connor Confield. So yeah, the father is more active in the movie than he was in the books.
Okay, that makes sense.
Trudy isn't the friendo who loses their hand to rust in the movie. Glenn becomes more involved with the plot of Colonel Cornfield after he's kidnapped by the friendos and forced to operate on one of them after they get a hand shot off by Rust. However, the victim of the injury is different in both versions. In the book, the friendo that Glenn is forced to operate on is revealed to be Trudy, one of the waitresses at a local diner. She eventually dies of the wounds, similar to her unnamed film counterpart, Glenn, then murders her compatriot, earning him a kill he didn't get in the book.
Okay.
Trudy is still in the film and still dies before the end of the story, but in a different manner. Janet is more important character in the book. Janet is the queen bee of the film's teenage clique, and is the last of the teenagers to die in the film. She actually makes it all the way through the cornfield with Quinn, but is fatally impaled on a pitchfork by Frendo. Forced to defend herself, Quinn removes the weapon and uses it to kill the friendo, but this also speeds up Quinn's death. Quinn is largely a comedic character in the film, but got a lot more in-depth character focus in the original novel. Cole actually started the fire in the book. So, yeah, the fire, I think it's the fire that killed his sister.
Okay.
So, one of the biggest reasons why Cole and his friends are seen as problems by the local town in Cornfield is the belief that their antics resulted in a factory burning down in the town. Although the official story is that there was faulty wiring set off the blaze, many in the town still believe it was Cole in the climax. In the climax, it's revealed that it was actually his father, Arthur, who set the fire as a means of framing his son and earning insurance money. This latter reveal is a big turn, as it cements the darker side of Arthur and elevates Cole of any guilt for the fire and the impact it had on the town. This is different from the book, where Cole is revealed to have actually gotten the factory burned down while partying there not long before. Sheriff Dunn is more involved in the plot. A major conspirator in Friendo plot is missing from the movie. Yeah, so that's the differences. Like, the movie and the book are the same, it's just there's a bunch of differences.
Gotcha. There is that horror movie as well that is, I can't remember if it was a short film or something like that. It's the movie where the clown goes to the birthday party and the kids are like complete assholes, and there's an accident and he dies, and then he comes back to life and starts hunting them.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it was good. I just
they're assholes. Yeah, I've seen this. They're assholes to him and he dies.
Yeah, because then there's that whole thing like where like clowns said like they have such a like burial thing. It's like that where like their nose, I believe. Oh no, it's like each one has like an egg, and the egg has to be like put like it's this whole thing. It was good. I think so. Clowns and horror, like I think they're one of the more interesting kind of evolutions in horror over the decades, right? Because when I think of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that was still like the early time when clowns were still very much something beloved, right? And so the idea was that. Yes, I think so. Like Stitches the Clown, I think was his name.
A clown comes back from the dead to haunt those who took his life during a fatal party mishap.
Yeah, and so like the Killer Clowns was kind of start with
Oh
like the
yeah, I have.
town's,
I've seen reviews of this film.
yeah, it was good, and I think they may have made a second one.
I don't know.
But I don't think I've ever watched it. Um, but yeah, so the idea is like with Killer Clowns, right? Like the townsfolk have like are almost completely unsuspecting of the clowns, even as they kill people, and it's just like it's a pretty silly movie, in general, just because it's very slapstick in a lot of its ways, like with the shadow monster, things like that. Um, but then you start to get like the change, right, as it goes through the decades, because then really you get Poltergeist, right? Poltergeist with the doll. I still remember as a kid, I was afraid of clowns, by the way, as a kid. It wasn't until like middle school, like 12, 13, when I finally got over my fear. And it was when I actually rewatched the It miniseries. When I rewatched that, I something kind of clicked, and I was like, this is hilarious. And then I started liking clowns. But as a kid in like kindergarten, so like 2000, I'll out myself in like 2000. I had to have my sister accompany me to the bathroom after my mom and sister made me watch the It miniseries, because I was terrified that Pennywise was going to come through the drains to get me. Absolutely mortified. I was so scared. And like I said, now I think clowns are the shit. They're so much fun.
I did when growing up. I didn't like. I was the same with I was the same. I watched like my first. I think my first ever clown horror movie were the It miniseries. First one I was scared of. Second one not so much, because at the very end when I found out it's a big giant spider, I'm just sat there like, what am I watching? Um,
Mine clicked with like the beep beep Richie beep beep, like that's something I was like, he's just really screwing around with everybody. Like I love this. This is great.
yeah.
Um,
Like, yeah. So It miniseries was a lot of fun. I think
yeah,
the second one was more slapstick. It was much more comedic.
that's fair. And when you say second one, you're meaning like when they're adults coming back in.
Yeah, and yeah, cause obviously they were a miniseries, so it was like part one, part two. So the newer ones are scarier.
Yeah, I will say one of my verbal stems is like, am I not real enough for you, Georgie?
Yeah,
Or am I not real enough for you, Billy? I was real enough for Georgie.
yeah. I think Bill Skarsgård does a lot, because I know they, if I remember correctly, on set, a story came out that they kept Bill like out. They kept Bill, like, when they were in costume. They
Yeah,
kept him away from like the kids. They kept him away from the kids until their first meeting. So do you know, like, through the film where he, like, obviously Pennywise is transforming into other things throughout
yeah,
the film, and then that's when they first meet Pennywise, like actually meet Pennywise. That's when so like that's when they first meet him, and I remember, like, cause they kept Bill away from the kids until that very time. That time. That's what the story was set.
yeah, yeah. And then I think another scene. And this jumps to it. Welcome to Derry. I love the puppeteering the principal scene, right? That whole aspect was amazing, but also just because I think like technically Pennywise himself is basically a puppet, right? It's basically like the image that's being fabricated to do things, and that he's puppeteering the principal. It's
I
just
love
fantastic. But
I loved Welcome to Derry, because um obviously we learn more. We get to know about the backstory of, like, some of the characters. one of the characters that's in the family, we learn at the end of the final episode, is that she would later on get married and have a kid who would end up being one of the losers.
Yeah, to be Richie.
Yeah, she
Right.
would be Rich's she would end up being Rich's. Would she be Rich's mother or Rich's grandmother? No, Rich's mother. Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd end up being Rich's mother.
And I like that because the idea is that over time they become numb and kind of like start to forget things that happen. So by the
Because
time that
we
the movie comes,
learn-
they don't remember it.
Yeah, because at the very end we learn that Pennywise, he knew he was gonna die. Like he's like a fourth dimensional being in it. So like
Yeah, so he's experiencing it all at the same
he's
time, kind of
experiencing
thing. But
it all at the same time. That's why he knew that the losers killed him. So his whole plan was to kill the parents of the losers, so he couldn't be killed.
yeah, well,
Obviously,
because
the
then part of the
parents defeat
idea I
him.
think is that like every resurrection, like every time he goes down for his hibernation, it's almost like he dies because then like quote unquote when he wakes up, he's like back in the cycle again, like of
Yeah.
all of the cycles. So he's just caught in this like
So
torturous
like when the
kind of thing
losers
of
as
dealing with it.
adults do defeat him, he is dead. They did kill him.
Yeah, which I will say, so because I've seen somebody take some people trying to explain this timey-wimey thing. And one of the things I heard was like when he goes into hibernation, like, it's like it restarts it all, but he still knows it's all going on. And the thing that I think is either a plot hole or maybe something that needs to be ironed out eventually if they want it to be like really, ironclad, is the general. When the general is, trying to be like, oh, I'm helping you out, this whole thing. He's like, wait, I remember that smell. And then, boom, gets him. It's like, my argument would be that if he was experiencing
one
every
of the
cycle at the
army
exact same time.
members at the base, I believe is I think it's Bowers. He's Henry Bowers' granddad, I think.
Gotcha. Was he the one who was the big dick to the serviceman?
I think so, cause yeah, I think he is Henry Bowers' grandfather. He is the father of Henry Bowers' father.
Like he was the guy with the gun shooting, like trying to shoot at well, I don't know why his name's eluding me this morning.
Welcome.
My brain defaults to Chef every time I see him,
I'll send you this photo of him.
Okay, you guys don't see Lucas right now, but he's being a little turd, aren't you, Lucas?
I'm pretty sure it's his. I'm pretty sure it's his grandfather or his actual dad.
Oh, that's the yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's.
Oh, so the police officer, yeah.
I think it's actually his dad. I'm not sure. Is it his grandfather or his dad? Oh no. Apparently one of the kids. Yeah, it's his grandfather because one of the kids.
Clint Bowers.
Yeah, one of the kids that confronts what's his name's mother. The serviceman.
Yeah.
Because both of them end up moving on to the base. Yeah. One of the gang members go up to his mum, and that guy's Butch Bowers. Henry Bowers' dad.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because he's Clint Bowers. Yeah. So all the characters are all linked. It's also we get to learn more. We also get to learn more about all the characters in the movie, and we get to learn about everybody's motives and stuff. I actually follow the guy who plays the Bowers kid, Butch.
Yeah.
Not Butch. Henry. I follow him on TikTok.
Okay.
He's a songwriter. He's a musician.
Very
and
nice.
he also does videos where he makes drinks. He does like mixing drinks.
Very nice. Very nice. So then I think another big one, like obviously we get Art the Clown and Terrifier, right? The
Yeah.
idea of the more the sound, the mime, aspect of kind of
Like
clownery, if you will.
Art is a different type of clown as well. He's like obviously he's a mime clown, but
Yeah, I think there might be a more specific term for it.
he's also like a different look to him. He hasn't got the traditional clown look to him either.
Yeah, do Harlequins also be quiet?
Would it be like a jester? No. I'm not sure. But yeah, I know Art was originally in what's that film? Was it All Hallows Eve? When it was played by a different actor.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, it started in that, didn't it? And then got his solo film when they got a different actor to play him.
Yeah, because it's originally started as that short film that basically it got enough interest that they were allowed to, they got what they needed to make more.
It's like we're getting to this world now where we're getting like really good like like low budget movies. So I know Terrifier is not low budget, 'cause Jesus Christ, but we're getting like these horror films where they're not made by big fucking studios and they slap. That they're really good. Like Terrifier.
Yeah.
I like Sienna as a character. I like the whole thing.
I agree. Yeah, Terrifier is a fun series overall. That's like, and then obviously like the M surrounded, like the creators, the actors involved. Like anytime I see like convention stuff and things with them, they're such good sports and they're just
Yeah,
pretty entertaining people in general.
did you know the actor who plays Art?
Yes, but I always forget his name.
He proposed to his girlfriend in costume
That is fantastic.
at a
Especially because
convention.
that's fantastic because I'm pretty sure she also probably loves it because she understands like how passionate, like what he like. She probably sees like that kind of joy and stuff too with it. I'm just like so good.
He also gets fan casted a lot to play Joker because he himself has said that he loved to play Joker.
Joker is, yeah, because ultimately, even though Joker's not horror, I think in some renditions and stuff like that, we can get a bit of a scarier kind of version of him and everything, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of. I'm not a fan of. Have you to segue for a second? Have you been keeping up with the alternate kind of the? Is it absolute like absolute Batman? That's
the
section?
absolute universe.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with that at all? Because I'm partially with it, and I'm not a fan of how Joker.
I have seen the pictures.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how they do the Joker there, unfortunately. But it's still good. It's still a good universe since the idea is just Darkseid's in control and he just has a beef with Batman. That's basically it. He's getting back because Batman's a dick to him.
I love the idea of the fact that they changed Batman to from a rich kid to just a guy who's like tough as fucking nails.
Who's basically fighting kaijus. You know what I mean?
He's just
like I'm caught up.
Isn't he like he's like a
Wayland
mechanic type of deal? He's like a mechanic, but it's also
Yeah.
like his bat symbol is a weapon. So
yeah,
the bat symbol he
because, like,
wears on his chest gets turned into an axe.
Yeah, like I'm caught up through his
Yeah,
friend,
his version
Waylon
of
Jones.
his version of Joker is like more like it's a monster
Yeah.
than anything.
And he's also not funny. He actually hates jokes. That Joker hates jokes. That's why he's called the Joker. Is it's a funny play on the fact that he hates jokes. And I'm like, grr. But obviously,
like,
it's because
this version of
Darkseid, right?
Two-Face
Darkseid probably finds it
also
annoying.
the version of Two-Face has a long hair,
Yeah.
and Mr. Freeze and like Bane and all them. They're all like different versions of
I do like the Bane
themselves.
version. Bane in general, all his variants I've seen, I've always liked. But
But then
anyways,
they've also branched out the universe because now you're getting absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Martian Manhunter, and then very soon
and Brainiac,
probably very soon you'll get the absolute Justice League.
yeah. And then so essentially, so I love clowns. I like clowns and horror. I've considered sometimes in streams and stuff like that, if I had like a more of a plan when I do my streams and stuff, of like figuring out clown makeup, because I love clowns. I love makeup. I always want a red nose. It'd be great. But I'm limited by two things. One is my skin hating itself, right? With how it gets red and everything like that.
Yeah.
And basically it's really, and then figuring out the makeup and stuff, because I'm a big clown person. If I were younger and had a chance to change up some things I did, I would choose clowns.
Well, I remember at Terrifier. Do you know when the like little trailer came out for the Christmas movie, for the third one,
Yes.
and there's that little girl in there. Everybody was going insane, being like, everybody was having like an argument that it's like killing kids in film and stuff.
And I remember him like oh, sorry, I don't want to spoil it if that's where your story's going.
But yeah, he does it mostly off screen anyway.
Yeah, but I think if people asked him in like an Ask Me Anything kind of interview kind of thing, he's like, pretty much alludes like, yeah, he ate the kid. Like, you think the kid was safe? No.
I'm sorry, but like, Terrifier is like, Art the Clown gives no shits.
Yeah, because well, if I remember correctly, he's not a demon in the first one.
No.
But when he dies, that's when he gets that kind of nice little bump up, if you will, because of what he did.
In the first, so like, obviously in All Hallows Eve, he's still human as well.
Yeah.
Because
the idea is probably afterwards, watching the videotapes, things like that, like where it kind of becomes like the extra stuff. That's probably almost like a side event thing going on, because of
and then
demonicness.
Obviously in Terrifier, he probably I'm guessing what Art did was him doing like, I feel like what he did, he probably made a deal.
Yeah, I like the idea too, because am I right? Because
the version of like hell that he comes from is called the Terrifier.
Yeah, so then my question is ultimately, because I haven't watched All Hallows Eve in a really long time, is it the idea that like the babysitter and then like watch the tape and then he kind of comes like starts haunting them too after they watch it?
Hang on, let me look at what.
Yeah. Oh, my ponytail looks like so
All
stupid
Hallows
today, but I
Eve
just don't do it here.
2013 is a horror anthology featuring a babysitter and two children who have an unmarked VHS tape found in a trick-or-treat bag. The tape contains 3 terrifying tales, all featuring a sadistic homicidal Art the Clown. As they watch, the clown begins to cross over from the film into their reality. Key plot points and the segments. The VHS tape shows 3 separate gruesome and 80s inspired horror stories linked by Art the Clown. Segment 1, a woman kidnapped by Art at a train station and subjected to a cult ritual involving a demonic entity. Segment 2, a woman in a rural home is stalked by an alien entity, often interpreted as having slasher elements similar to Michael Myers. Segment 3, a costume designer is pursued by Art after a gas station stop, leading to a brutal chase. Wrapped around story, as the babysitter Sarah watches the tape, she experiences terrifying supernatural occurrences in the house. The film culminates in the clown appearing in the house, leading to a grim final.
Yeah. So I guess with that idea is how it kind of describes it, because I'd almost imagine like maybe Art was the one who put the tape in the bag and was basically already there, basically watching her.
Yeah, I don't think he's supernatural at that point. I'm guessing he was already
Yeah,
there.
because I was originally leading with the idea that watching the tape is what influenced and did that, but it sounds more like he's the one who left the tape. It was just waiting, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Which is a completely Art thing to do. And he's a weird one, right? Because in some cases, I think if you're just not a dick to him, you're fine. But then in other times, so really the reason why I like him so much is, despite the fact that sometimes it appears that that's the case, if you're just not a dick and play along, he's cool. The issue is he's very capricious, and at the next turn of the hat, he could just be doing it just to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just because he just decided it's worth it. Because I firmly believe if the two girls in the first movie weren't awful to him, they might have been okay. But then they made fun of him, and just like with like the chef, right? The chef guy there who tried to kick him out. Like it seems like he's very vengeful, and if you upset him, he's gonna do you, right? He's gonna take you down. So part of me is just like torn because I'm like, I feel like if you're just a good person, you have a much better chance at surviving him. But like I said, then you get other situations where he completely just goes to town.
Yeah, I think it's like just a change of like, depending on like if you're like a proper dick to him, he's gonna like just brutally murder you. But then again, I think sometimes he is going for the kill anyway.
Yeah.
It's just that
Here's another
the
one I
people
just thought
start
of.
being a dick to him to the point where he just can't take it anymore.
Yeah, so I hate that. I was looking at the name of the short film series, and someone's review said we got Terrifier 3 at home. I hate that. That's stupid, because I believe Jester might actually be either as old as Art the Clown or something like that. Have you ever watched this?
What?
There's a little set. I'd have to dig in to find the whole thing and stuff. Oh, they actually made a full movie some months ago. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, the
It's like a
Jester.
short.
I've seen clips. I've not watched it.
I always liked the Jester, and apparently they may have actually made an actual movie. I see on YouTube there's a full hour 30 movie. But I'm gonna check on that to see if because they post all the other stuff too, YouTube. So I want to make sure that it's actually Dread looks to be the people who did it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to watch that. Anyways, I always love that because Art and him have very similar things. That's why I'm curious if they made this off of the All Hallows Eve kind of that's where they got inspiration. I haven't really dug into it to see, but I love that because it's a character who does really atrocious things, but does them because they were slighted, like does them because the people aren't playing with the rules of trick or treat, right? Like the Halloween kind of thing
Yeah.
of, I love that. I like horror things.
I know he's not a clown, but also kind of reminds me of
Sounds like you're describing the philosophy of Art the Clown.
Excuse me, Gemini. I'm not asking you to do that. Jesus Christ. My phone apparently decided to start explaining it to me. Yeah, it started explaining the differences between the two to me.
I remember it kind of reminds me of is it Billy? Not Billy. Sam from Trick or Treat.
Yeah. That follows the same kind of motives sort of thing, where it's like it's a spirit of this event, which I do like Trick or Treat.
Also, side note, they have released the teaser for Alien Isolation 2.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm excited. I never actually beat the first one, but did I tell you why I never beat the first one?
Why?
Before I ever was able to play the game, when I was studying for like my college courses back in the day, there was a guy who did a supercut of Alien Isolation, and every time the alien showed up, he had the flamethrower, and he started playing Disco Fever every single time. And so as the game goes on and the aliens just popping up more and more and more, it gets faster and faster with like it popping up, and it's just it completely killed the atmosphere and like the fear for me, because I'm just like every time, burn, baby, burn, and the screeching of the alien.
It's my
so Alien 2.
It's one of my favorite horror games.
Yeah, like I'll pop into Alien 2, like I'll absolutely play before I ever get spoiled because then I won't have to worry about like that in my brain of just like the
It's
burn,
because
baby, burn.
obviously the last one did end on a cliffhanger with what happens to Ripley.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really good.
So I'm
So
guessing
yeah,
this next one will be basically like straight after,
yeah,
because the first game was set like when Ellen's daughter Amanda is like obviously trying to find her mum, and obviously she ends up getting in with the alien. So they have a lot of years to play with until they have to have Amanda die. So Amanda Ripley dies of old age. Ellen's daughter dies of old age from what we learn in Aliens.
yeah, exactly. That would be a good topic I think for next time too. Will be maybe xenomorph and things because I mean we went over the show and stuff, but we haven't really done that. But
Season two's already been like talked about recently.
Yeah, yeah, and so clowns and horror, one of my favorite things. Always like to see them. Something just both sadistic and satirical about them at all times, and I'm a huge fan of that kind of business. I don't think there's much else for me to say on the topic at the moment.
Neither do I. But yeah, guys, we hope everybody did enjoy today's episode. Let us know what you think of clowns in horror. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Depending on where you're listening to this video or
Should
whatever.
Mori wear clown makeup?
Should Mori become a clown? No? Yeah.
Yeah, it should.
He already acts like one.
Would I call myself Mori or would I call myself happy, you know? Because don't Mori be happy.
Guys, I hope everybody did enjoy. But let us know in the comments and everything what you think, or on the question thing on the audio side. Other than that, guys, I've been one of your hosts, Slasher.
And I'm your other host, Mori.
And remember, this podcast is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network and my YouTube channel, Slasher Media. We talk horror, nothing but horror. But other than that, guys, we'll see you in the next one. And remember, keep on slashing, keep watching horror, and we'll see you guys later.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Have you checked the children?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Boogeyman is real, and you found him.
Don't you blame the movies? Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.